General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, September 9th reveal that Drew Cain will share the last thing he remembers while Michael Corinthos gets some help with his Jacinda search. Jason Morgan will also save Britt Westbourne, so here's what viewers can expect. Now that Drew is waking up at GH, he'll be quizzed about the horrific ordeal he just endured. Drew will share the last thing he recalls before it all went dark, so we'll see if he says anything that might point the finger at someone. At the PCPD, Alexis Davis will insist she's happy to answer any questions that Anna Devane might have. However, Alexis will go a bit overboard when it comes to what she spills and leave Anna even more suspicious. Next, Michael will meet with Curtis Ashford and seek his help finding Jacinda, the escort that Michael bought a drink for the night Drew was shot. Michael is hoping to use Jacinda as an alibi, but he has to track her down first. Of course, Jacinda will be busy hounding Portia Robinson and Nina Reeves for more money, but Portia may find a way to get the upper hand. As for Jack Brennan, it looks like he'll approach Lulu Spencer and push for her permission to let Charlotte Cassadine go visit Valentine Cassadine in person at Steinmauer. That's what Valentine is demanding, so Brennan will have to deliver if he wants information on who's running Cesar Faison's old business. It looks like Brennan will threaten Lulu to get her to cooperate on this, but he'll call it a warning in the end. At the Five Poppies Resort, Vaughn should be able to cut off his restraints, along with Jocelyn Jax's thanks to the knife next to him. Jocelyn and Vaughn will give Jason some backup now that a guard's got him in a chokehold. Once the final guard goes down, Jason can get back to the lab and save Britt now that there's an explosion countdown. Jason will promise Britt that both of them will get out of this, or neither of them will, so they'll truly be in this together. As for Vaughn, he'll push Jocelyn to keep going if he goes down. Vaughn will already be preparing for a grim fate, but he'll thankfully make it out of this mess alive along with Jocelyn. The same goes for Britt and Jason, so they'll all survive any explosion chaos to come. General Hospital spoilers say Britt will make it back to Port Charles in the very near future, so stick with us for updates on how that stunning news will affect the whole town. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers hint at an explosion in Croatia during the week of September 8-12, so it's time to talk about who will make it back to Port Charles and who won't. As GH fans know, anytime these adventure missions take place outside of town, there's always a person who doesn't come back home. The stakes are high at the Five Poppies Resort, as some sketchy activities are being done, linked to PCU Professor Henry Hank Dalton's lab research back in PC. WSB agents Jocelyn Jax and Vaughn were sent to the resort on a recon mission that has since gone awry, and the resort manager, Pascal E., had the two held hostage. Pascal was hoping to gain some insight into what the WSB knows about their shady project, but so far has come up empty. There's also a mystery boss connected to all this. Plus, Jen Sidwell is an investor. GH fans also recently learned that Colette Moreau is compromised and working for the bad guys, gathering WSB intel to deter the agency from taking any action. Of course, Dr. Britt Westbourne got caught up in the WSB drama, reaching out to Jason Morgan via the burner phone he gave her in hopes he could return back to the resort to save Joss and Vaughn. While the reception was bad and she got caught by Pascal, her SOS signal was noted by Jason, and he swiftly returned to the resort before boarding a plane to save the day. Now the week of September 8-12 has arrived, and with the preview video teasing an explosion on the horizon in Croatia, it's hard not to think that there will be a casualty or two in the aftermath of it all. Let's look at the obvious as it relates to who's coming home. Jason and Britt will escape Five Poppies Resort and return to PC, safe and sound. Britt literally just returned to the land of the living, so there's no way she came this far just to come this far. The fact that there's a romantic reunion brewing between her and Jason helps too. Of course, Jason being a top player on the ABC soap means he's a guarantee to return to PC unscathed. That leaves Jocelyn and Vaughn. It's very probable that Jason will bring Jocelyn back to Port Charles. Jason saving Joss's life at the umpteenth hour will bring home the narrative of him constantly being Carly Spencer's hero. In addition, Carly's appreciation will also add a layer of conflict where Jason and Britt's pending reunion is concerned, as Britt has voiced her resentment of Carly and Jason's friendship and how his BFF has always come first in his life. In fact, Carly is the reason their love affair didn't work out the first time around. With that said, imagine the drama that would unfold if Jason were unable to bring Jocelyn home. Jason had no idea that Joss was at Five Poppies to begin with, so if the truth came out about Jack Brennan recruiting Jocelyn to the WSB, and the young girl went missing or lost her life, Carly's wrath would be fierce where her boyfriend is concerned. Especially when she recently confided in Brennan about the devastation of losing Morgan Corinthos and how she wouldn't be able to go on if she lost another child. Still, Carly's anger will still shatter her romance with Brennan when Jocelyn returns as her daughter, or Jason will spill the beans about her WSB stint and the danger Brennan ultimately placed her in. He not only recruited Joss to the agency, but also placed her on a mission she was not ready for. So, that leaves Vaughn, an expendable character who risked his life saving Jocelyn. Sure, the two dabbled in a romance, but they are far from a couple. Vaughn passing away would open the door for Joss to grieve yet another love interest, who left her too early. The likelihood of Vaughn not returning from Five Poppies is high for many reasons, including drama and Joss's character development for her next chapter. Then there's also Pascal. Could Jason drag him back to Port Charles, throw him to the WSB so he can spill the beans on the lab research that's going on at PCU and the resort? Does the character have what it takes to become a series regular, or even become a recurring personality? He may meet his demise in the midst of all this, but as he was just introduced to the canvas and was a villain, no tears will be shed if he passes away. Regardless, General Hospital spoilers imply there will be plenty of action, intriguing, scary moments, and more, as Jason attempts to rescue Britt, Jocelyn, and Vaughn, and help them escape the dire situation they are in. As the mystery surrounding the shooting of General Hospital's Drew continues to unfold, the suspect list keeps getting longer. The latest stunning twist not only put someone new on that ever-growing roll call, but left us realizing that we were looking at things from completely the wrong perspective. Because when Michael went looking for the one person who can prove he's not the person who pumped 2 bullets into Drew, we realized that he might also be trying to track down the killer. Why? Because his alibi and Drew's shooter might very well be the same person, Jacinda. First, a bit of a refresher. Earlier this year, desperate times drove Portia and Nina to form something of an unholy alliance. The doctor, with an assist from lab tech Brad, got her hands on medical-grade ketamine. Nina then paid Jacinda to slip Drew the drug and create a very, very public scene. All the better to disgrace the Politico and cause problems in his relationship with Willow. Jacinda took her money and left for Australia. But come on, who amongst us didn't fully expect her to return when she burned through that cash, which, based on Friday's episode, is exactly what happened. Certainly, it's easy to see why she'd return to Port Charles, given that she can easily blackmail both Nina and Portia. However, what if Michael's not the one in need of an alibi? Jacinda is. Perhaps she contacted Drew hoping he'd pay big bucks in exchange for the truth about what happened that night. It's not hard to imagine him saying, "That's yesterday's news and nobody cares. Reach out to me again and I'll have you locked up." Killing Drew would free the blonde beauty up to continue on her merry way while also blackmailing Nina and Portia regarding their role in the whole mess. Of course, this is just as likely a classic case of misdirection. While we're all looking suspiciously at Jacinda, the would-be killer is seeing someone who could mess things up for them, big time. Might she wind up going from would-be alibi to a problem in need of eliminating by whoever actually tried to do away with Drew? General Hospital spoilers for the next 3 weeks, September 8th to September 26th, reveal that Michael Corinthos will have some leverage to hold over Willow Tate while some Nathan West and Britt Westbourne drama plays out. Jason Morgan will also face a tough decision, so some gripping scenes are on the way. The week of September 8 to 12 will bring an explosive conclusion to the latest round of chaos at the Five Poppies Resort. Jason, Britt, Jocelyn Jax, and S. Vaughn will all have to rely on some teamwork to get out of Croatia alive. Thankfully, All four characters will indeed live to tell the tale. In the aftermath, Port Charles will witness a shocking return. Jason will apparently convince Britt to reveal her resurrection back in PC, so Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer will be left reeling. Liesl Obrecht should be over the moon about Britt's survival news, but she could also be a little hurt and angry that she was kept in the dark. There'll also be plenty of GH turmoil swirling around Jacinda, who may say whatever she needs to say to the cops, depending on who pays her enough. Michael will want to use Jacinda as his alibi, but could Nina derail that plan by paying her more to sabotage him? Whatever the case, Jacinda will play a big role in what's to come. During the week of September 15th and 19th, Jocelyn and Vaughn will fall harder for each other, but they'll try to hide their romance from Brennan. This type of relationship is frowned upon in the WSB, so Vaughn and Jocelyn will have to be sneaky. As for Jason, he'll face a tough decision since he'll be pressured to keep his mouth shut about Jocelyn's WSB gig. Can Jason really keep something so huge from Carly Spencer? And if he can, how long will that plan last? Next, Drew may still be in danger if someone wants to finish what they started. GH fans will also look forward to Drew's wake-up call and what he'll have to say to the cops when the time comes. Back with Britt, she surely has an awkward yet heartfelt interaction with Rocco Falconeri coming up. Rocco never thought he'd get the chance to hang out with Britt and truly get to know her, but he may have that chance now, much to Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri's dismay. By the time the week of September 27 to 26 is over, Ryan Pavey will be on screen again as well. Once Anna realizes Britt and Nathan are both back, she'll have a hunch that Cesar Faison is somehow involved. Anna will have a new case to tackle as a result, but she won't forget about the Drew investigation either. Chase may let Willow pull the wool over his eyes more and more as the storyline moves along. Brooke Lynn Quartermain will get upset with Chase as his search for answers heats up. It sounds like Brooke Lynn will have a problem with Chase defending Willow and perhaps pointing the finger at Michael. However, Michael will eventually find himself in an advantageous position, one that could leave him calling the shots with Willow. Will Michael have evidence that makes Willow look guilty of shooting Drew? Or will this involve baby stalker proof instead? General Hospital spoilers say the next 3 weeks will bring some twists and turns, so stay tuned for updates on all the mayhem. With the Five Poppies story looking like it's finally coming to a climax, General Hospital fans and Port Charles residents will have the Britch back in full force. But will she be the Britch of the more tamed version of Britt who died? While Britt has never been a full-fledged murderous villainess, as her mother, Liesl, told Rocco, Britt was a mess. She did numerous underhanded and illegal things, including stealing Dante and Lulu's frozen embryo before implanting it into her uterus and giving birth to Rocco. Britt was also not very well liked around the General Hospital halls due to her bitchy attitude, which earned her the nickname the Britch. However, during Thiebaud's last stint on GH, which ended in 2023, Britt began showing her softer side and was even a respected and beloved chief of staff by the time she allegedly died. In fact, Britt had quite a turnout at her New Year's Eve birthday party, which ended with Britt getting nicked by Heather's poison hook. Port Charles mourned her supposed death, but now we know she is alive. So which Britt will we get once she makes her way back home? During the time Thibaud had been away from GH, she still received kind words from fans who wanted her back on their favorite soap. Thibaud credits Britt's redemption with the love she received from the audience. I was getting messages on my social media about how much people missed the character, Thibaud told Women's World. The last time I was on the show, we were creating this different version of Britt. And it wasn't just me, it was the writing and a real team effort to give her this redemption and then the Huntington's disease. It was so beautiful. I got so much love from the GH fans, and I think we grew closer during that whole experience. But which version of Britt will fans see once the Five Poppies story comes to a close? We're kind of leaning more towards the Britch these days, she said. I love the flair of Britt and her spikiness, so it's fun to play. I just don't want to live in that world all the time. I'm like, guys, I worked so hard. We all worked so hard on making her likable and redeeming her. Let's not lose that. I want the best of both worlds. It looks like General Hospital's starting off the week with 2 returns we've been waiting on for ages. The first is Valentine, with James Patrick Stewart stepping back into the role for an appearance. But no, he's not out of prison just yet. Instead, Valentine gets on a video call with Brennan, where he asks to see his daughter in person in exchange for Faison info. And that brings us to the second return, while also introducing a new face. Charlotte has, in theory, been back ever since Lulu ran around the globe tracking her daughter down. Lulu brought Charlotte home, but we've barely seen her since. Now, though, she's finally back on our screens, though looking a bit different than she had before. That's because actress Bluesy Burke has taken over the role from Scarlett Fernandez, who originated it back in 2016. When the show Sorosed Charlotte in 2021, though, Amelie McLean took over, followed for an episode by Anna Sophia Bianchi. But then Fernandez took over the role once again in July of 2024, and has been playing her off and on in the past year. While this is Burke's first foray into the daytime world, she's no stranger to showbiz, since her dad is Billy Burke, who's appeared in everything from The Closer and playing Commissioner Gordon in the animated film Batman: The Long Halloween, to playing Bella's dad in the Twilight films. Already, General Hospital is clearly setting Charlotte up to take after her mom's rebellious but well-meaning spirit, with Burke's first episode centering around Charlotte taking Scout away from camp to try helping the distraught kid after she found out about her daddy's shooting. Charlotte got into trouble in the process, but insisted it was the right thing to do to help the late Sam's daughter. While we're sorry to see Fernandez go again, welcome to Port Charles, Bluesy Burke. Hopefully, Charlotte can stay out of slightly less trouble than her parents. General Hospital spoilers reveal that the ABC soap has recast the role of Charlotte Cassadine, so Bluesy Burke has taken over for Scarlett Fernandez. Let's talk about the change and what Charlotte will be doing this fall. 17-year-old Bluesy Burke has famous family roots since her dad, Billy Burke, and her mom, Pollyanna Rose, are also in the acting biz. You might have seen Burke playing Cindy in 2019's Booksmart, but now she's making her daytime debut. Bluesy Burke's first episode aired on September 8th, when it was revealed that she helped Scout Quartermain leave camp without permission. It's good to know Charlotte isn't getting away from her troublemaker tendencies. In fact, GH spoilers confirm the show will lean into Charlotte's sneaky side this autumn. The latest fall preview info teases that Charlotte will play a key role in the drama thanks to her manipulation skills. Charlotte will use her relationship with Valentine Cassadine to her advantage and find new ways to get what she wants. Of course, Charlotte will continue to navigate her relationship with Lulu Spencer, which has evolved now that Charlotte's a teenager. Lulu woke up to a much older version of her daughter, but she still has plenty of things to teach her, as evidenced by the punishment she just handed down for the Scout situation. Charlotte's car was taken away, in addition to her grounding. But she took the news well, all things considered. Lulu and Charlotte even managed to share a hug after the lecture, so they're on good terms for now. Valentine also demanded an in-person visit with Charlotte during his video call with Jack Brennan, so Brennan seems poised to make it happen as part of their deal. Plus, Charlotte will spend more time with Danny Morgan and Rocco Falconeri this fall, so there will surely be some teen shenanigans to shake things up. General Hospital spoilers say Charlotte has plenty of fun material on the way, so stay tuned for updates on all the action. Meanwhile, time is running out for Britt. In addition to Alexis saying too much, General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, will also focus on Portia turning the tables. Do both of these teasers have to do with Drew Kane? These days, Alexis is holding onto a ton of secrets. She's keeping Rick tied up and gagged up in her basement after Ava knocked him on the head. She knows about Christina cutting the brakes on Rick's car, and she's keeping a tight lid on her embezzling from the Cassadine estate, thanks to blackmailers Rick and Ava. And she just may be keeping a secret or two about what happened to Drew. The man was shot, and according to GH's weekly video preview, she's one of the PCPD's top suspects. So when the teasers suggest Alexis says too much, does she do this while the Port Charles police question her about the shooting, or does this involve one of her many other secrets? Meanwhile, Portia keeps causing chaos with her lies, scheming, ending her marriage, and sleeping with Isaiah. But now she supposedly turns the tables on someone. Who? Maybe this is about Jacinda, the escort she and Nina enlisted to help them drug Drew. After all, she recently returned to town asking for more money. In Croatia, time is running out for Britt. She has attempted to help Jocelyn and Vaughn. Pascal is out of control. Jason is back at Five Poppies and is prepared to get her out of there whenever she gives him the okay. It's increasingly looking like Britt needs to leave now. Will she give Jason the okay, and more importantly, will she tell him about Joss? Michael asks Curtis for help on Tuesday. This must be about locating Jacinda. Michael needs to find the woman. They had a conversation on the night of Drew's shooting, so she may be able to help him establish an alibi. It just so happens Jacinda is back in Port Charles. But does Curtis even know this information yet? He may not be able to help his pal so easily. Lately, Lulu has been reporting on the Drew Cain shooting, and Martin asked her to expose Drew's role in setting up Stella Henry for insurance fraud. When Lulu has a big decision to make, does it involve something professional or personal? General Hospital spoilers and updates for the week of Monday, September 8th, Friday, September 12th. T's persons of interest are questioned. A shocking return takes place, and someone's caught off guard. Anna Devane and her PCP detectives question persons of interest. A shocking return happens, and Dante Falconeri's caught off guard. In the Port Charles Police Commissioner's office, Anna has called in Michael Corinthos for questioning in the attempted murder of Drew Cain. Dante is standing with her as she tells Michael they have a few questions about the night Drew Cain was shot. Michael was in the vicinity of the house, as witnessed by Tracy Quartermain, but looking for Jacinda to be his alibi. Michael no doubt will refuse to answer any questions without his attorney present, even though he may not be officially charged. Michael will stand firm, trusting Tracy will back him, however. Other persons of interest will be questioned, and an evidence board is set up in Anna's office as she brainstorms with Dante and Detective Harrison Chase. It has photos of all persons of interest, a timeline of the crime, and photos of the crime scene. She asks Dante and Chase, "Persons of interest, what have we got?" As scenes of the faces flash on the screen, Dante says Michael, of course, and Alexis Davis, and Anna interjects, Willow Tate and Chase, Curtis Ashford. Dante says Tracy Quartermain, holding up her PCPD file, and Anna doesn't look surprised. A shocking return rocks Port Charles this week, as the promo shows a blindsided Lulu Spencer saying, "This can't be real." She's obviously shocked. It sounds like Jason Morgan has managed to make it back to Port Charles with Britt Westbourne in tow, and Lulu spots her. Immediately after Lulu's comment, a tray with glasses of clear liquid is dropped on the floor. The glasses break. Might she be in Bobby's helping out and drops a tray in shock? Later in the week, Dante and Lulu break big news. This is probably about Britt. But what about Jocelyn Jacks and S. Vaughn? Did Jason get them out? Next, a voice shouts, "Everybody, get down!" And it sounds like Dante. As an explosion seems to happen. Gunshots break out, breaking the glasses, or is something else happening? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GH right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates. General Hospital spoilers tease that Portia Robinson and Nina Reeves are total opposites, but you know what they say, opposites attract. But right now, they may have a secret between them. If you know, you know. So let's dive into this delicious, possibly problematic situation and what it could mean for them. Portia is married on paper to Curtis Ashford, and Nina's last boo was Drew Cain. The trio hate Drew, who has been shot in the back twice in a sizzling whodunit. Could it have been Portia or Nina? Not Portia, since she was in bed with Isaiah Gannon at the time Drew was shot. Nina, however, could be a suspect. It was Ava Jerome who matched Portia and Nina based on their mutual Drew hatred. They succeeded in humiliating him by drugging him during a scenario in which he did body shots off a prostitute, Jacinda. But Drew overcame the shame, frustrating Portia and Nina, who have continued to try and take him down. Drew turned Nina's daughter, Willow Tate, against her, and he busted up Portia's marriage. Even though Portia has an alibi for the shooting, that doesn't mean she is scot-free. That's because in a moment of wild inappropriateness, she operated on Drew after the attempted hit. He made it out of surgery, but in a Thursday cliffhanger, his actual condition was left as a question mark. We know that Drew survives, But what shape is he in? Portia had several moments when she had a look on her face that hinted she could do harm to Drew. We know, the Hippocratic Oath and all, but that hasn't stopped Portia from doing some demented things given her position. Are Portia and Nina about to share info and discover that each has had a hand in maiming Congressman Crooked? Maybe Nina shot him. Maybe Portia sabotaged his surgery in some way. Tell us if you think that these ladies are guilty of something and are hiding another Drew-centric secret. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with General Hospital right now. Come back here often for the hottest GH updates, news, and spoilers. Get comfortable and gain access to the best soap intel on the web. Valentine and Anna belong together. Valentine is returning to General Hospital, and fans are rejoicing. Does this mean that he will reconnect with Anna and once again become the couple we all know and love? It was a sad moment when Valentine said goodbye to Anna and was taken away to Steinmauer prison. His final words to his love were, "Till next time," and that time is coming probably sooner than we expected. Valentine will have his priorities, with his daughter being number one. Charlotte will also be returning to our screens. Fans have been wondering where she's been because she hasn't been seen, and her mom barely talks about her. Valentine will also seek revenge on Brennan, his once friend turned enemy. Fans can't wait to have James Patrick Stewart back on their screens. Anna and Valentine have a very complicated past. They knew each other back in their early WSB days, when Anna's twin tricked him into thinking Anna betrayed him. Years later, they found each other in Port Charles and eventually fell in love. Their story was beautiful, tragic, and filled with bumps in the road. Valentine is complicated. He loves the people he cares for deeply, but his dark side always gets him into trouble. He was caught up in the Pikeman drama and tried to kill Brennan, which got him sent to prison and ended his relationship with the woman he loves. Anna is still single, and she is probably still very much in love with Valentine. His return might bring a joyous reunion, but not necessarily. Anna is the police commissioner, and if her ex escaped from prison, that would put them on opposite sides of the law. That would bring all kinds of complications for the couple. Would you like to see this couple together again? What do you think of Valentine's return? Let us know in the comments. Once gone characters are often found to be alive. When someone dies on General Hospital, it doesn't mean that they are dead forever. Characters sometimes get a second, or even a third or fourth life. Britt died. We all saw it. She was attacked when she saved Jocelyn from the Hook killer. She died in her mother's arms. There was no question about it, but here we are with Britt walking around in the land of the living. The powers that be haven't given us an explanation for how and why yet, but it will surely be a doozy. Then there is her dear old dad, Faison. He has been re-alived more than once over the years. Now his daughter is being held by an unnamed someone who some believe is Faison back from the dead. If not her dad, maybe it's her brother Nathan, who is set to make a miraculous return to Port Charles. They cannot keep anyone in this family down. If that's not crazy enough, before Britt died, she, along with the rest of Port Charles, believed Jason was dead. So they each thought the other was gone forever, and now they are both back. How often does that happen? If fans have their way, this very much alive couple will be back together ASAP. Jason's twin, Drew, was also once presumed dead. He wasn't. He was being held prisoner by the evil Cassadines, but eventually made his way home, only to have a complete personality shift. The once nice guy has become an evil villain who almost died recently. If we look back in GH history, there were so many others who turned up alive after dying. Jason's other brother, AJ, was once resurrected. Then there was the reunion of the century when Laura returned to Luke after he thought she was gone forever. Luke himself was also believed to be killed in an avalanche when he wasn't. The list can go on and on. There was Brenda, Robin, Robert, Nicholas, and many more. We can see them die, but no character is really dead on GH. Could Spencer be next? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!